In a quiet village nestled between misty mountains and serene lakes, there lived a humble farmer named Hiroshi. Hiroshi was a kind-hearted man, known for his generosity, though he had little to give. He lived alone in a small cottage surrounded by rice fields that glowed golden under the sun. One chilly winter night, as Hiroshi was returning from the market, he heard a faint, sorrowful cry. Following the sound, he found a beautiful white crane, its feathers shimmering in the moonlight, caught in a hunter's trap. Moved by the bird's plight, Hiroshi gently freed the crane and watched as it soared into the sky, disappearing into the night. The next evening, as snow began to fall, there was a knock at Hiroshi's door. To his surprise, a young woman stood there, her beauty as delicate as a cherry blossom in spring. She introduced herself as Yukiko and asked if she could stay the night, as she had lost her way. Grateful for the company, Hiroshi welcomed her into his home. Yukiko stayed with Hiroshi, and soon they grew close. She was kind and gentle, and Hiroshi found himself happier than he had ever been. One day, Yukiko offered to weave cloth from the silk she had brought with her. She asked Hiroshi for one promise. He must never look inside the weaving room while she worked. Hiroshi agreed, and for 3 days, Yukiko wove day and night. On the 4th day, she presented Hiroshi with a magnificent piece of cloth, as soft as the morning mist and as bright as the stars. She told him to sell it at the market, and when Hiroshi did, he received more gold than he had ever imagined. As days turned to weeks, Yukiko continued to weave, and Hiroshi prospered. But curiosity gnawed at him, and one day, unable to resist, he quietly peeked into the weaving room. There, instead of Yukiko, he saw the crane he had saved, plucking its own feathers and weaving them into the cloth. Horrified, Hiroshi gasped, and the crane, noticing him, transformed back into Yukiko. With tears in her eyes, she said, "You have broken your promise. I am the crane you saved, and I wished to repay your kindness. But now that you know my secret, I must leave." Before Hiroshi could beg her to stay, Yukiko transformed into the crane and flew out into the night, disappearing into the moonlit sky. Hiroshi was left with only the memory of her warmth and the beautiful cloth she had woven. From that day on, Hiroshi never saw Yukiko again. But every winter when the first snow fell, a single white feather would appear on his doorstep, reminding him of the love and kindness shared between a man and a crane.